Alright guys, so in this video we're going to look at a pseudo selector or pseudo class called nth-child. So I'm going to go ahead in our CSS sandbox 2 and create a new file called 02_nth_child.html. And I'm going to change this targeted selectors. I'm just going to do 01 just to stay consistent here. Alright, so in the nth-child file, let's go ahead and generate our head and body tags. We'll say nth-child, and we want our style tags. Now, as far as the HTML, what I'm going to do is just have a UL, and I want about 20 list items. So I'm going to say li, I'm going to use Emmet here, and the content will be item and then an incremental number. And I'm going to say times 20 and then hit enter. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open this up. We'll save it, open with live server. Now I'm going to add some base styling for the list item. So I just want to add some padding. We'll say 0.25 rem and margin. Oops, not margin. 0.25 rem. And let's just take away the bullet items with list style none. Alright, now we've seen first child and last child, so I'm just going to refresh your memory if you forget what these do. Basically, we can select the first and last element, and it doesn't have to be a list item. I'm just using list items. It could be divs, it could be whatever, any element at all. But we're going to say li, and then the pseudo selector syntax is a colon, so we want to say first child, and let's say background. Let's just do background red. I'll just use color names here. So that selects the first one, and if we want the last one, we'll copy that and we'll just do last child and save, and now the last one's red. But what about all of these? You know, what if we want to choose the fourth one, or every second one, every even one, every odd one? For that, we can use nth-child, and nth is basically like a kind of like a placeholder. So let's say position 3. So to do that, we can say list item, and we're going to say nth-child, and we're just going to pass in 3. Okay, and then I'm going to say background. And let's do a different color. We'll do purple and save, and notice that the third one down is purple. Okay, so what if we wanted to do every 3? Okay, not just the third one, but every third one we want to do. So in that case, let's say every 3. So we could say nth-child, and we can say 3n plus 0. This is basically the formula that we're going to use here. And let's say background, and we'll do orange. If I save that, notice that every third one is orange, and it replaced this one here, position 3, because it's further down. So it just kind of overrode it. If I put important here and save, then that's going to overwrite that. Now this formula that we passed in here is the counter. So this is the counter, and then 0, this is the offset. Okay, because we can offset, we can start it wherever we want. In this case, we're starting it at 0, and as a shortcut we can just do 3n. So if I save that, we're going to get the same result. Now let's say that I want to do every 3, but I want it to start after the 7th item here. So let's put a comment in here. We'll say every 3 after 7. So to do that, we can put in nth-child and then pass in 3n, and we want to do plus 7, which is our offset. Okay, and then I'll do background yellow, and we'll save that. And notice that the yellow starts here. Okay, so this 7, this is the offset. We're basically going to we're not going to start it until we hit that 7th item, and then we're going to do every 3. Now, a more common thing you're probably going to do is even and odd. So let's say every odd. So we could do li nth-child, and we could pass in odd. And let's do background. We'll do a light gray. And save. And now every odd item here is going to be light gray. Now it's probably pretty obvious that we can do even as well. So let's do that. Let's do even. And we'll change this to, let's do a shade darker, or shade lighter actually, and save. And now every even is the this DDD light gray. All right, so nth-child can be pretty handy. I remember before nth-child was actually a thing, we had to use JavaScript to dynamically select every other element. And it was just a pain in the neck, guys. If you're learning HTML and CSS now, you've missed a lot of just giant pains in the asses, because things weren't, I mean, you know, these selectors weren't around. Even like border radius wasn't around. To do things like even placeholders in our forms, in our input forms, we didn't have the placeholder attribute before HTML5, so we would have to use JavaScript to have a value in, but then add a click event, so when we clicked in, the value went away, which was just a giant pain in the neck. So you guys are lucky, for those of you that are learning this now, that you don't have to go through that stuff. And then browser compatibility is a whole new issue. All right, so that's the basis of nth-child. In the next video, we're going to look at the before and after pseudo selector and look at some practical uses for that.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer.